Hey there, YouTube. Thanks again for joining us on another episode of A Simple Day Vlogs. Today we're going to be discussing the Monday project management software. While it is a project management software, this is not exclusively a project management software. And today we're going to discuss some of the intricacies because I think this is really not something that's discussed very much on their website. It's not really advertised as well, or it may be very vague and hard for people to understand. But today I'm going to go over how we can use this for practical uh, small business and even medium-sized businesses, large business use, and how it can help you be productive, how it can help you obtain measurable results, and help you quantify tasks and other jobs. Very useful for forecasting, very useful for doing other sorts of information gathering on the business and finding out where to invest your time, where to invest your efforts, where to invest the labor that you have, where to invest future money or growth. So we're going to be discussing all of this here shortly. If you would like to start your free trial at Monday, please feel free to click the link in the description below. And without further ado, let's get into it. So I first want to start off by defining project management and what it really is. And if you follow me over here, it says the following. Project management is the process of planning, organizing, and managing a project to achieve a specific goal or outcome. It involves using knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to lead a team to complete deliverables within a set time frame. Now that we're all clear on what it is, I want to bring you over to the actual software and give you an overview of what it does, what it can do, what sorts of problems it can solve in a business, and what it really is. So if you follow me over here, there exists on the left-hand side this item called workspaces. Now you can make as many of these as you'd like. You can create a new one here, but primarily if you have one organization, let's just say you have a software company or an insurance company, what's going to happen is you're going to live inside of this workspace, this main workspace. So where you might want to use a second workspace is if you had, let's say, another business. You can create one. You can call it, let's say you have an insurance business, and let's just say you have uh, a, a software business or an insurance business, or you want to keep these two things separate. That's where you'd go ahead and use a second workspace. Now, these under it, where we have internal projects, customer projects, contacts, these items are called boards. And we can have as many of these as we'd like, but usually for most organizations, 1 to 2 suffice. It also depends on what you're looking to gain or what you're looking to solve and keep track of. So that's really what this depends on. I'll go into this in a bit here. And if I click on one of these, you're going to see that this main panel or what's on the right of that changes. That's just the view of whatever's here. So this is the actual content inside of these boards. And when you create a new board, you can actually create, let's say, you can create a project which is just really a folder for it. You can create a new board, a document board. You can create a dashboard, but in essence, it's really a board, a type of board. So when we go ahead and we look over here, we can see that there are different uh, things that we can do to solve problems in our industry or in our business. I'll give you an example here. I have one that I named here called internal projects. I just want to use an example. Let's just say if we have an insurance company and we have internal projects here that we want to solve within the company, and we're assigning these out to certain people. We want to say, give you an example, website revisions for March, new office move, a physical office move. We can go ahead and we can assign that to someone here. We can click here and say, hey, this is going to be assigned to Marcos or someone else that we have. We can put a status on it. We can put a due date on it. And If we double click on this guy, well, if we click on here or we double click on this guy, check it off here, then what that's going to do is it's going to give us this little section here where we can write updates or upload files related to this project here. You can also see an activity log of who did what, who changed what, and whatnot. So if we go here, we can write something. So this is a test and test update. And we're just going to hit update. This then becomes a note with a timestamp on it, and we can also choose to put reminders or be notified when someone updates a project or ticket that is assigned to us. Other people can collaborate, and they can like it and whatnot. And actually, as I was looking at this, I actually got a notification in my email that someone had updated this. In essence, you would have the Monday app installed on your phone or on your laptop, so you'd be notified in that manner. You can enable email notifications, but it's not really necessary. I feel some people feel it's overly redundant, especially if you already have the app on your phone, and you can do that. The next thing that we have here is we can close this out, and we can these are projects that we have pending or open that are that are really just pending, and people are doing stuff. I'll give you an example. Deploy Monday for projects. Removal of old logo from websites. We can go in here and we can see what someone has added in. In this case, since this is just for demonstration purposes, of course, nothing's added in. New storage server for the company. We can go ahead and do that. We can change the person who this is assigned to. I now want to assign this to John. We can change the status to done, working on it, stuck, or even something else. It's very easy to create something new if we'd like to make a new one called can't complete or on hold. Let's just say on hold. I like on hold. We're going to go to do that. We're going to hit apply, and we're going to make that color blue there. We could change that at any point, whatever we'd like. And now we see that this has been projected across all of these. We will also set a new date, which is more in line. This is back in March, so we're going to set a new date here. We're going to say this is May 1st, which is the due date. We can also, let's just say, if we're looking to track another metric here, we can add another column that will provide us some more information about this project. This is a quick overview of what we can add, but we can also add more columns. One of my favorite ones is the maps one or the location one, because I had a client that had a gas station, and they had multiple gas stations, multiple locations, and it was very useful for them to add and be very specific as to where this gas station was. Right, this gas station is in is in Machu Picchu, let's just say, right, or this one can be at 123 Sesame Place, right? So this is of course just a made up one. We're just going to add Sears Avenue here, the 123 Sears Avenue. We can do these things. We can also add quite a lot of other things to really track, to really mold what we're tracking, or if I'm explaining this correctly, to really be granular about what it is that we're tracking, or what it is that we care to track. Sometimes you might get something that says, hey, this is a we just want a checkbox, let's just say, and the checkbox can say something like, hey, if this is let's say, if this requires a vendor, right? Let's just say if this requires a vendor, this requires that we contact a vendor, then we check that off. And this can alert someone on the team that either interfaces with the vendor or does whatever. That way we know that this isn't necessarily something that someone has to get up and do, but we have to commence a phone call so that we can get this project started from our vendor, whether it's the software vendor, or let's just say even if you have a gas station where someone has to fix a pump, or whether it's servicing for, let's say, mowing the lawn or getting that scheduled out. Very, very useful here. A bunch of things that we can do. One other thing that I forgot to mention is we can assign this to multiple people, or we can just assign this to one person. I wanted to assign this just John and not Marcos and John. I'm just going to go ahead and remove myself, Marcos, and it's just going to be assigned to John now. And this enables notifications, has to do with who gets notified for these things. One very cool thing we can do is we can create notifications for statuses. Let's just say when someone is stuck or this is placed in an on hold status, then the owner, let's say a management can be notified so that they take action. Or we can name it, let's just say, awaiting management response. And then that way they get dinged and the entire management team gets dinged so that they know that someone is waiting for some form of action to be performed from them or some decision so that someone else can continue working. Very important. And adding location, adding specifics like this. You can add a form that says, hey, we need to order 100 keyboards for the company, or we need to order 100 tires for the company, right? Whatever it is, you can go ahead and fill out a form that says what it is, where we need this, why we need it. All these sorts of specifics can be documented in here. Now, a lot of times adding in location or vendor, if you have one or even 5 locations, one location might seem overly redundant. You might not need this. But if you have 5 locations, then a lot of times it seems like, oh, well, go to the green building, let's just say we call it. But a lot of times, things that we just assume are obvious aren't always obvious, especially to new people on our team, or if things are constantly changing in the company. That's why it's very important to go ahead and make things really, I don't want to say idiot proof, but make things, document them and say, hey, this is what, where, when, how, by when we got to do it. And it's just very important that we write these things down. It deters a lot of problems from happening, like, oh, I thought you meant this, or I thought that was a soft due date or instead of a firm due date. And we can really emphasize whatever we like on this. We can add things in and put things in writing and assign them to certain people. The beauty about adding things, adding certain people to projects, is that, as well as with documented notes, saying, hey, this is something that is in writing and you have here and isn't really going to change, right? If it changes, you'll be notified in writing, and only you will get notified of this, not the entire team. So that removes a lot of chatter and a lot of broadcasting of information throughout the company. Very, very useful. And what I'm mentioning here is what we can do in all of these. We can do inside all of these boards here. So that's essentially one internal project. And let's just say that we have we create another board here called customer projects. Now, now these can be as advanced or simple as we'd like. We can really just go ahead and make them more or less simple or whatever we'd like here. Customer projects, I'd like to view this as the following. Let's just say you run a digital marketing company or a marketing company, and you have both internal projects that you really only want your internal staff to know about and do, and then customer projects which affect revenue and you want to track revenue. You have a lot more metrics here, or a lot more columns that you want to go ahead and track. Definitely, that would be a great way while you want to have other boards here and other things. You can, very, very, very cool things that you can do here. I'll give you an example as to how much more complicated it can get. You can have something where add automation where as soon as it hits done, someone changes this to done. This can immediately be brought right down here to the finished project section here, right? We can go ahead and we automate that. We can go ahead and track the number of hours in a dashboard, as I will show you very, very soon. That this may take, great for tracking billable hours as well as forecasting how much staff you might need, or if you need to bring on a contractor. If you need to, if you need to reduce your headcount, that's also very important. Very good for forecasting revenue. All these items really depends what we're looking to track. The timeline as well. This can also be tracked. The average time it would take to complete a project. What is it that's being done, right? We can place it in a certain category, and this can also do that. You can add in cost as well as hourly rate, the date that it was created versus when it was closed, and that will help you track how much time it actually took versus the estimated hours. Then you can also come here and let's just say we want to, you can add in your clients here. Let's just say you have your clients in a contact section here. These are all your clients that you have here. And these are the company that they work for, their titles, the type of that this is. This could be a partner, this could be a customer, a vendor, a lead. Maybe they're not a customer just yet, they're a lead, right? You can put some sort of priority here and label it by color. Information such as phone number, emails, location, such as if you want to have, like, let's say, hey, I want to circle back with them next time we talk. I want to speak to them every 3 months or 6 months. Just check in. Next time I want to check in is June 15th. Let's just do that. And then you can get notified, or management or your sales team can get notified of this. Really, to keep you very agile and very lean as to how you run things. You can also add in notes as to, hey, what is it that they might want in the future? And maybe that can be a talking point for the next time that you speak to them. So, and what essentially happens is you can add a new contact in here. You can, you can name him, let's just say we're gonna name him something fun here. I don't know, Harry Potter, right? Harry Potter. You're gonna see that throughout. I love Harry Potter. And we can add in his phone number, all these items here. And when we go over to customer projects, we can go ahead and add in whoever we'd like. This person, we can see the overview of Emmanuel Branch, right? Or we can, let's just say, hey, this was added Emmanuel by accident, right? We want to go ahead and add another client. This is Harry Potter here. Clearly, this is Harry Potter. So we go ahead and we add him in there. So boards can pull data from other boards, and you can manipulate this data in different ways. Very, very intricate. It can get a little advanced here, and maybe not everyone feels comfortable. But this is how you could keep track of projects, how you could, in ways, do that, as well as track metrics, measure things, so that you improve upon these things, so that you get better at communication, you get better at writing down what your clients want, you get better at estimating billable hours and revenue for that matter. You get better at estimating how long things actually take to get done. This one took 22 days overdue. Very important metric to track. These are all things that can make or break a business, and should really be looked at in a closer fashion. Now we can go over to the dashboard, which I want to show you in this particular case here. You can go over and see things such as, well, this is just one that was created manually or automatically from the other when we created a board automatically. So it has a lot of stuff, a lot of fluff in it. But really what it is, maybe this is a terrible one, but let's go over to the sales dashboard. This is what your dashboard could look like. It can pull the complete revenue for the quarter. Let's just say you're looking for every 3 months to do so. You can pull revenue for how many deals that were converted from, started off as leads and changed to customers, and how much revenue was generated from that. These are the types of boards that you can see. I'll give you an example. A lot of times people are looking to have, or businesses are looking to have, a basic CRM. That's one reason why you might want to go ahead and grab this CRM. and maybe you only want one list of contacts. That's great. Your customer projects can pull from this contacts board over to this instead of this one. So you can go ahead and do that. You can have another board for customer projects, internal projects. You can assign certain people and say, hey, I only want to have certain people have access to the internal boards one projects uh, projects board, or I only want my sales team to have access to the CRM, or I only want, et cetera, et cetera. You can go ahead and do these things. Let's say you want field staff, if you own a plumbing company or an elevator service company or something that involves on-site visits. You can have your field staff take a look at a specific board only, and your accounting staff take a look at another board. And you as the owner can view all the boards. You can collapse them so it's not so overwhelming. You can take a look at, you can decide, hey, I only want to look at a few dashboards. You can build as many dashboards as you'd like to pull any number of metrics. We go here, build a new dashboard. To pull as many metrics as you want from, here you go, you can make this private and assign this to only select people here, or you can make this public to everyone and whatnot. So a lot of times the owners will have their own private dashboards that they view metrics on that they find very valuable in their organization. They want to track. So that's something that you can do. You can name it. You can say tracking, let's say, employee turnover, things like that. So you can name it whatever you'd like and have these boards there. The other thing, last thing I want to touch on as far as the boards here and the view is that these boards, they can come in different, this is the data in itself, and it is very Excel-like, but you can view this data in many different forms. You can view it as a timeline if you'd like, where you see that this really extends out via quarters and years, or you can make it shorter. You can view this in other forms, like a chart. The same data, just viewed as a chart. We're not really pulling, this is a different way of viewing the data and manipulating the data instead of just viewing it, such as like a dashboard. So if we click in here, let's just say, right, we want to, well, some of these don't have the ability to click in here, but the other ones, such as the timeline, will have, like, let's say you're looking at this one, and this one's just taken way too long. You can click on it and it'll give you really an overview of what this is. And this views the data and provides the data to you in a different fashion. You can still manipulate it by adding people to this, or changing the owner, changing the date, things like that. You can still manipulate it like that. So this is a way of viewing and manipulating the data. A lot of people really love Kanban style things. So this will, if we wanted to, we can make a Kanban style board with your data. And you can view it and manage it like this, and we can literally drag and drop these items to anywhere that we'd like. We can go ahead and move it to, I'm stuck over here, right? So and that will effectively change the status. If we go to market analysis right now in the main data, this will change it to I'm stuck. So let's see, market analysis, and that changed it to working on. Well, this is the free one, so it didn't really change it here, but in essence, it does actually change it here. One of these will change to working on it. A lot of times, the default ones that come with this, when we just created a Kanban one like we did just now, these don't work out of the box, especially if you have one that's as complicated as this one. This one is pretty involved, and there's a lot of things going on here. The last thing that I want to touch on here is on these is a couple features that you have to really make this very powerful. And you can go over here, and on any of your boards, you can go ahead and click the automate button, and this will automate certain things. This can automate things. I'll give you an example. There are some basic ones that come here out of the box. When an item is created, assign creator as person. So you can assign, let's just say, a default that says, hey, this is my receptionist, or this is the project manager. When something is created, you can do that. When a status changes to something, notify someone. This was that one that I was referring to earlier about I want to go ahead and be notified every time this is changed, a status of something is changed to awaiting management approval, so that I can go ahead and provide the approval in a very quick turnaround time, so that someone else continues to work on this almost immediately. Very, very powerful stuff. You can change, there are featured ones which you can pay for and do. There are ones that you can control notifications. When date arrives, let's just say we're late on a deadline, notify someone, the project manager, the owner, whoever it may be. When date arrives, and only if status is something, notify someone. As you can see, these can get a little more complicated, a little more convoluted, and you know, it's very powerful stuff that we can do here. So you can mirror, you can have sub items, very powerful stuff here. Very, very great stuff. As I was also saying, when something is changed to done, you can have it automatically move to finished projects. And another thing that we can do is we can do integrations. Integrations are a great way of making this a lot more rich. Let's just say if you have a CRM and you would like to add in a note, a public-facing customer note that would email your client and say, hey, this is going to also be sent in an email. You can go ahead and use a Gmail plugin, the Outlook plugin, right? You can go ahead, or OneDrive plugin, to pull information and save stuff there. You can do a Zoom plugin. Let's say a certain action requires a meeting. You can definitely do that. You notify someone and it will broadcast a meeting, let's say an emergency meeting. You can, if you already have existing things such as Slack or LinkedIn, you can go ahead and create these integrations there, and it'll pull from data like this. So a lot of very, very interesting things that we can do here. The next thing that I want to touch on here is, aside from automate and integrate, there's also a marketplace here. Bear with me. Let's just see where we can find it. This is a lot of stuff here that you can really do. So forgive me, guys, if I'm a little slow on this. I don't live in Monday world a lot. I touch on a lot of different systems here. So the time that I might touch on this, between the time I might touch on the first time to the next time around, is sometimes a little far apart. So you can do that. You can automate. You can go ahead and create integrations. You can also go to the app marketplace, which is very cool if, let's say, you're looking to purchase something that's already pre-built and already really works well. You can also feel free to do that. You can have a more robust CRM, and you can you can actually purchase a few of these, and they'll be built in within Monday. You can build some that already take advantage of QuickBooks integrations, or Google apps like Docs or Excel, or Sheets, I'm sorry. You can download some marketing ones. You can download ones that are specifically built for software development, or let's just say here, HR, if you're looking to have your HR department, or if you do HR related stuff, or if you want to even begin building some sort of HR within the company. If you're growing in size and you'd like to have something, you're not quite ready to hire or outsource HR, but you have someone that could manage it. You could begin by doing this in some fashion, right? Finance, it does have a lot of great ones here that you can also add and simply just begin using from day one. So that's really the overview of Monday here, and you can have lots of different boards in your workspace, right? And you can assign them to different people. You can invite your team here by adding invite members. You can see your notifications in your feed as to who has done what, who has done what where. You can see an activity log, of course, of who did what, who edited what. Even let's just say if there's something done by accident, right? It helps to keep accountability and project what could happen. Guys, that was really it. Any questions, please feel free to leave some comments below about any questions you might have. I will definitely do my best to answer everyone. And I will also, feel free to also reach out if you have any questions or if you come up with any bright ideas as to how Monday could help your organization. I know there's a lot of use cases from multi-site gas stations to accounting firms or insurance companies, HR companies, companies that work on projects for other businesses, specialize in business to business stuff. Very, 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 very important stuff. Having a CRM in your organization, if you think you don't have a need for it, or if you think yours is too small, or you just don't have the staff to do so, you'd be surprised what having a basic CRM on a platform like Monday can do for you. This would really help you identify where you're lacking. Even if you think you don't need it, it would be great to try out and see, hey, this is what it has done for me. And what the things you can also measure by this, which would help you forecast and plan and make great decisions on this. So please hit the link below to start your Monday trial if you'd like to do so. And again, let me know if you guys need anything else. Have a great day, and until next time.